thank you everyone for coming to Serious Topics on this Sunday afternoon for Artist Walkthrough by artist Jesse Wiedel. This is his show. He's down here from Eureka. We feel so lucky to be able to have these incredible paintings here. And I don't know. Anyways, Jesse, why don't you take it away?
Okay. Thanks everyone for coming out. Yeah, these paintings have all been done within the last, I think, 8 months. This show is called Stalking the Good Life, and that was taken from a book written by an author named Yul Brynner. Not Yul Brynner. Yul Gibbons. And he wrote about foraging for food out in the wilderness. So it's kind of reflective of the mood of this show, which is about, I've been dwelling on the concept of freedom in these paintings, showing people kind of reinventing freedom for themselves in kind of these dead zones where they've been kind of pushed out of society or of just priced out.
Civilized
culture. Anyways, what else was I going to say? I was going to say a bunch of things now. I'm just drawing a blank. Let me just talk about each painting, or just a few selected paintings.
All of them.
Sometimes that. Anyway, this one is called Wastewater World Park, and you can see people frolicking in this kind of desert utopia here, and the place is in Mexicali, and this is like a sewage treatment pond, and we have RFK here splashing. And you see he's famous for splashing around in contaminated water. Reflective of our current culture here. This is Mexican.
So who are the other people?
This is this woman is a friend of mine, Katie. She always has herself posed in these funny spots, and sometimes I use her as a model in the paintings. She was really jazzed that she showed up in the painting.
So that's the one that's like the Ophelia figure.
Yeah.
Is that meant to reference that the Ophelia painting?
Kind of, not, I was kind of referring to that a little bit, but also it's just showing this kind of leap of love between him and her.
Wow.
They're kind of going to splash down on each other.
The one in the water looks like Lauren Boebert.
And then we have the Marsh Master, which is a vehicle that clears the marshland. Yeah, just kind of.
It's like an amphibious tank.
Yeah, it's like a tank that clears the marshland. And then this is a trailer that I saw out in Paradise, California. And it kind of worked with this scene here. And people frolicking in kind of a lost world, lost zone. And she's got like some, whatever she brought up from the bottom of the water there. Got a patriotic bikini on. See this next one. this one is called Here Comes My Girl. And the main focus of the painting is Tom Petty, and this is his last photo of Tom Petty before he died. And I'm showing him with this fellow that I painted as a live painting at a gallery in Eureka, and I included him as Tom Petty's buddy in this scene. It's several different landscapes in one. There's the Nevada desert, and then there's this place in Ohio where there's abandoned amusement park that's overgrown. And then this is dumpster rental is in Los Angeles. And then these vans are from Eureka. I really like to include vans in my paintings. I have a special place for vans just because I grew up in a large family and we would travel across the country in a van. So these 70s style vans I'm really attracted to. And then I kind of just invented this barrier here, inspired by just rock walls, and then this dilapidated fence that's looks like our old fence in our backyard. Our neighbors have this weird trailer structure that's covered in tarp, and it blows into these weird shapes in windstorms. And yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is Tom Petty showing his friend, Here Comes My Girl, and in the foreground you see is this kind of cosmic aura in the ground, and so the girl is you. Am I Tom Petty's girl in the afterlife? Anyway, it's kind of a cosmic painting. Any
Do you have
impression?
the elements all thought out in your head when you start, or do you like get to a point where you're like, oh, I need something here, and then kind of think, okay, what am I gonna place there?
Yeah, I do. I mainly have it drawn in using photos for reference, but I leave a lot of empty spaces in the paintings in the composition where I can freeform paint. With the sky in the foreground, I try to reenact my little abstract expressionistic fantasies. But yeah, this whole barrier part was invented just in the painting. It wasn't drawn in because I didn't have a photo that would work for that one. Let's see, which other one you want to?
You could come here and then go back around that way if you like. I'll move, so.
Okay. Let's see this one. What did I call it?
Oh, what is that called? We have the list.
I can't remember my own title.
The Drama of Exile?
Oh yes, the Drama of Exile. This one is, the landscape is from the Sacramento Delta area, which I go to with my wife a lot. She's filming about the fish life and different kind of obstacles that fish have to go through around there. But then I kind of just invented this building with a blown out roof, trying to experiment with a different kind of perspective here, which I don't know, I think I succeeded somehow. It's kind of confusing, but kind of just thinking about, I noticed in everybody's mind about Gaza and buildings with their tops blown off, just visually something about that. Wanted to incorporate into a painting. these people were from an arrest photo in Redding, California, where my hometown. I wanted to include them in there. This figure in the cape is Nico. It's the title, Drama of Exile. It's from one of her albums. But Nico, I'm just a big fan of her music, but also I've read several of biographies about her, and she's kind of the spirit animal for drug abuse. So she pops up in a lot of my paintings as kind of like a ghost. And then this guy is a preacher, a ventriloquist preacher, who he has this routine called Tommy the Talking Cross, where he talks about the Bible and ventriloquist, the cross talks. Yeah. And it seems like the only person here is amused is the cop.
Oh, that's a cop on the bottom with flip-flops.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of fun painting the ground.
What is that building, the 3 circle things? What are those?
That's just some, I think it's some old storage, either oil or farm stuff, kind of slightly submerged.
Did you paint those from life or from a photo? Did they exist?
Yeah, that's from a photo.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the place I've been to several times.
Is that in water?
Yeah, it's this weird cement structure coming out of the water.
Is this a lake or like an ocean or?
It's the delta,
The
the
Sacramento.
Sacramento River Delta.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it comes from the San Francisco Bay up to the Sacramento
So
River.
is it freshwater or saltwater?
It's both.
Oh,
And so that's why, salmon come up that way. Any questions about so far? Should I keep going this way?
yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. This one. I'm blanking on my titles. Oh, this one's called, this one's called,
Come on in. We have chairs.
Follow Your Dreams. People, yeah, this is out in the area around Brawley, California, which is south of Salton Sea. And we've been going there a lot. My wife's done research out there. And it's just a really interesting area. There's lots of these beat down structures and just this beautiful desert. But it's just kind of bad air and not very many people out there. But I wanted to show some people having fun out there, and they're pushed out to the outskirts to try to invent some sort of leisure activities. But this is the fellow I saw in Garberville, south of Humboldt, and there's this video of him walking around the streets with these, it's like a milk crate over his head and some car grills and fender parts that he's using. It's kind of like he's stalking around like he's, a warrior on the streets. And this gal is knee biking in the nude.
That's a woman.
Yeah.
And that's why I was living the dream, chasing the dream.
Follow your dreams.
Hey there.
And then, this is the most recent one I've done. This was done in January. It's called Spring Break. And it's painting just about all the paranoia about technology and robots, and got the Waymo, and just got all this from a fembot from the 70s, one of those 70s sci-fi films. And there's, you know, people are frolicking for spring break, and you're getting beat down by the robot overlords. Another robot here, and then a Waymo. And this structure here is some sort of like surveillance, communicates with satellites structure. Just trying to amp it up the paranoia here. And there's this weird church I found out in Toronto, California, which is, and this windowless cement structure that just feels like some kind of, I don't know, like it's storing something sinister.
Data center.
Yeah.
It's not a
Data
church.
center.
It's not really a
It's
church.
like a data center, you know, the worst thing you can imagine. Yeah, and then there's, you know, sometimes I in the skies I put these like vortexes or wormholes or, you know, something to suggest that there's the future and the past coming together.
Is that comment on the boundaries as well with the barrier in the front foreground?
Oh, kind of, but I don't know if I consciously thought that, but that's good. No, I was just trying to invent a structure for people to fall over. It's like one of those road barrier things.
Yeah.
This one is called In Search of the Lost Vibes. And this is also some places out in the south of the Salton Sea. These structures that mainly, like, I was inspired to make this painting because of the message on this house, good vibes. But also, another thing that inspired me was I just finished reading a book about Big Mama Thornton, who she's the one who originally had the hit for the song Hound Dog. And she also wrote the song Ball and Chain. But there's all these great photos and videos of her chugging the old granddad whiskey, which I love. About her. And then I saw this. This was just from a scene in a Jim Jarmusch film called Down by Law. It's just a brief snippet where you see this billboard in the background, and thought, oh my God, that is so cool. What a sexy message, right? Anyway, yeah, I tried to replicate that building in there, and that works with her. And then I used myself for the model for actually both of these people, but just, you know, put her in the top of my form there. And yeah, I've used this motif in a few paintings of guys searching, metal detecting, searching for the lost vibes. It's kind of finding your bliss however you can. Any questions about this one? Yeah, okay. This one. This one's called Sleepy Hollow. This is a place in southern Humboldt, Laytonville area. It's called the Sleepy Hollow RV Park, Maryland. I don't know. I I just thought that was so funny. And so I was gonna play up the spookiness in this one, but I just couldn't. I was enjoying how it came out. But I wanted to, yeah, a lot of these paintings in this series, I'm trying really hard to make the people more happy, more joyful, and more content looking than normally my paintings. They kind of look like everybody looks like drug zombies. But this person, I try to give him a really serene face. I think it's because I was listening to Cat Stevens painting the face. But yeah, these structures are called teepee burners, and they're pretty common around and still sitting around in the outskirts of the forests in Northern California. Just the timber industry used to use them to burn waste wood. None of them function anymore, but I think they're too big to break down. For anybody who, nobody wants the expense of breaking these big things down.
Can you say more about those? Like why would they, was that so that the rest of the forest wouldn't burn down? That they burn things in there, or?
Oh, no, it's just like the waste wood, like they would burn like the branches and the bark and sawdust. Just so that it's not just laying all over the place.
Oh, okay.
The philosophy was, I think that's what it was. It's just
Very
keeping the area clean and free of debris.
Pre-compressed wood, like compressed plywood maybe,
It was
Pre-Clean
pre-Clean
years.
Air Act.
Yeah.
Definitely pre-Clean Air Act.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they'll
like
be
get
able to
those
use
things
them
in.
again soon.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
Anyway, I included these horses because we've got all these horses in our neighborhood that we go on walks and feed the horses carrots and apples and stuff. And one day I saw this white horse and it was circling around this mud puddle. He kept circling, he's looking at the mud puddle, and then he just rolled over and started rolling in the mud. It was so cute. Kind of relates to the headless horseman of the Sleepy Hollow. Kind of thing. I was gonna make this person headless. Couldn't bring myself to do it. It was sweet painting.
It was Cat Stevens what made him,
Yeah.
let him have his head, right?
Anyway, I had a lot of fun with that sky.
It's beautiful.
And I start with the skies in general, and then that kind of sets the tone for the painting. And then I finish with the foreground, and I kind of try to bring it all together with the foreground. Kind of freeform painting, kind of tie it together with the texture and the free painting of the sky along with the free painting of the foreground.
Did you go out and draw the horses?
No, I didn't. Yeah, we're taking photos.
Oh, yeah.
I do go out and draw quite a bit out in the landscapes, and I also do figure drawing and portrait painting.
We have some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, your recent drawings that you've been posting are really cool.
Thanks.
Come on in,
The
Jane.
ships,
Oh, yeah.
the boats, yeah.
Share for you.
Yeah, I've been doing lots of drawing around the day.
Just for you. Oh, Gary, hi. We have some latecomers here.
We tried.
Delinquents.
Ah.
All right, have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, this one was done, the landscape was inspired by Paradise, California. This is the liquor store called Hooch Hut, which I thought was genius. title for a liquor store. I'm including that as well as this structure from Eureka. This was in King Salmon, which is just south of Eureka. Used to be like a theme park that was an actual ship. It was called the Shipwreck. And you could go in there and go into the restaurant, and then they had all these cement structures that had all these ponds that you could feed like the seals and stuff. But now they're just these basic structures just out there still standing. And I thought this was very primordial structure, like a magical hooch hut. Something mystical is going on inside. Primordial.
And outside.
Yeah. And then you see that people are celebrating here, but there's kind of a mixed bag of things happening here. There's, people partying down, but also there's people grieving, and this person is overdosing, and this person is getting a fentanyl fold, passing out. But these people are kind of oblivious to it. It's talking about, apathy and just the way things kind of are now. People are kind of just just ambivalent about. I don't know. I don't know. This is kind of why we're at where we are, where we're losing our freedoms, because people are just not really caring. They're just not seeing other people somehow.
They're realizing nobody's coming to save them.
Yeah. And this stone figure was from the movie Zardoz. It was one of those 70s sci-fi films.
Yes.
Great costume.
And the film is about this stone god flying in the sky and telling a certain class of people that down with the penis, up with violence. They're trying to make warriors be more warriors and
Not lovers.
not lovers.
Make war, not love.
But so this, by dragging the head around behind the tricycle, he's symbolizing that they've defeated violence,
Oh.
and so it's a kind of a mixed message on this painting here.
What about those obscure symbols in the sky from God? What are those?
These were, those clouds were inspired by the Jackson Pollock painting, The Guardian of the Secret, which is my favorite painting by him. But there's these square forms that have these mysterious squiggles and messages scratched on them. It's just trying to show an obscure message from God.
He doesn't have any answers for this
Nobody.
thing either.
Nobody could figure it out.
He would have loved that liquor store.
Let's go on the last one. This one's called The Follower. And this is out in Mexicali. This spooky church I saw out there. And I included the orange hut, which there's another form that pops up in my paintings from time to time. It's I think this one was out in Fresno, but there's also one in Redding of my hometown that's still standing. But just love that kind of vernacular architecture stuff. This beat down orange. It looks like or something. But yeah, this is a spooky painting. But yeah, this is the girl I saw in Eureka riding a kid's bike. Yeah, it's a pretty common thing to see in Eureka. And she's being followed by a chupacabra. It's kind of like the Bigfoot of Mexico. But then there's all these mounds in the background. It's kind of kind of like what is, how spooky can it get? But she's kind of oblivious to it. This structure was just a post I saw in Fields Landing, California, out by Eureka, and it was just a post filled with seaweed. But I tried to make it look like, just like some mysterious rotten palm tree that's turned into a crucifix for the church. Anyway, kind of the inspiration for starting this painting was just, I see this woman in our neighborhood walking down the street, and she's walking her dog every day, and the cat is following her. And it's just so funny to see the cat following. And you never see cats walking, following like that. But that was the inspiration for this one. Any questions about this one?
Really has that Central Valley look, like when you're driving through Tulare County.
Yeah, is it based on a specific, the landscape, is it based on a specific location or?
Yeah, it's in the outskirts of Mexico.
Mexicali, okay, yeah, because it's really interesting how the elements are like a mental assemblage of things from your memory.
Yeah, a lot of the background shrubbery is kind of like Central Valley feeling to it. And then the sky, I'm always having a lot of fun with the skies. Free painting, free form painting. Somebody described this one as God's tag, which I thought was a great description.
Yeah, there's sort of a big observer, you can see that in there.
Another obscure, almost indecipherable message from God.
The atmosphere in this one really good.
Question, because Eureka, they're tall trees, and I always find the space there kind of, for me, claustrophobic, because you don't see much sky, and then these are very much the desert.
Yeah.
To me, like open space. Is that just the choice of this series, or is there something about this open space that appeals to you?
Oh yeah, that's exactly why I paint these. Because it's the landscape is so claustrophobic there with the trees. You can't get a horizon very easy. You have to go out to the bay or the ocean to get an actual horizon. It's not obscured by gigantic trees, which are beautiful. But I've always loved the desert. It's kind of the opposite of Humboldt. But the thing about it that's great that's interesting to me is just the power of nature to, put you in your place. It's just beat down by the heat, and the same thing with the forest is the same kind of feeling, only opposite. It's like beaten down by water and mold and moss. It's nature putting you in your place and making you smaller, which is interesting to me.
So, it sounds like these paintings are like a kind of documentation, or things you've seen or things you've taken photos of, but they also feel a little bit about the future. I don't know if you think about that or how you think about that.
Yeah, that's a future. Yeah, in some of them, there's, especially that one, it's kind of feels like the future. But I am using a lot of like references to like 70s sci-fi, which are, I think 70s sci-fi movies are scarier than current ones, just because they're kind of stuff is coming true. They're making up back then, and it's really spooky to watch those films. And that they pop up in my paintings a lot.
Yeah, they predicted the future in many ways.
They instructed the tech oligarchs what to do.
There's also like world making in these paintings. These people, aspirationally trying to make their lives better with available materials at hand,
Yeah, that was kind of the main kind of force of the general idea of all the paintings.
Okay, I got one little general question, and I don't know if this is obvious, it's just been my observation watching your paintings. So I'll take like our Cape Juniors splashing around in the water as like an example. There seems to be like a sort of dark humor and playfulness maybe in a lot of your paintings, with a lot of human suffering, and you mentioned like kind of the drug zombies, right? But then there's kind of this playfulness and humor. Can you talk about the humor in your work and kind of if and where it shows up and why? Because it's juxtaposed, in these kind of surreal, difficult scenes.
I don't know if I would paint them if I didn't have some fun with them. I do have some satirical bent to a lot of, that I've done over the years, but the fun is the main part of it. I want to show people having joyful time, just being out of control, and just being free. It's a kind of a obscure thing. Freedom is just such a, I don't know, it's one of those words that sometimes it's super meaningful, sometimes it's meaningless. What is it? Just playing around with that, but also just having lots of fun with the forms and the paint, and just trying to show some joy and the feeling of freedom that I can manage with paint.
And the humor is kind of like an escape valve for all the, apocalyptic despair,
Yeah, and sometimes you laugh when things you don't understand, and you kind of laugh at things that are confusing and perplexing.
I think it's interesting too that you're talking about freedom in places where there's also a great deal of poverty, but you show the poverty in some of the like RVs or things that have decayed, but you're also showing joy. So I don't know if you want to talk about how those things play off freedom in places that we may not assume there is freedom because there's such poverty.
Yeah, that's a good question. I grew up in a trailer community, and I had a really good childhood. I enjoyed the hell out of my childhood. It was great. I was outdoors my whole childhood. Just looking at junk cars everywhere and trailer houses, and playing out on the street all the time, on my bike all the time. I have bikes and vans and trailers in my paintings. It's just inspirational material for me. But about poverty, yeah,
You never felt poor.
I never felt poor, even though we were kind of poor, I didn't feel that way,
Your dad
I
raised six
felt,
kids on a grocery checker's
I felt
salary.
a real.
Everybody was happy.
Yeah. I just felt really positive about the whole thing.
I guess that's what I was like trying to get at, is that we assume that when you're poor, you're not able to have freedom and happiness because you think like poverty disables you against those things, but it's not the case.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe what is your definition of freedom?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I'm kind of, working with here, trying to find that, within the images and within the paint.
I find something really reassuring in a way about your paintings. When I look at this one, I'm sorry we missed the presentation of this one, but there's so much, it's like you're illustrating the presence of individual stories in the same scene. And to me, there's something that's very reassuring about seeing all of these stories inhabit the same space.
Oh, yeah.
And that the natural environment is something that is almost detached from the human experience, and that's also reassuring to me somehow. So.
Yeah, I like to make story, paintings are kind of implied stories that I want people to kind of guess or interpret them the way they want,
Any more questions, you guys? I know you have more questions.
How does the
We can't hear you
color,
unless you use the microphone.
how does the color mood come in to your paintings, and how do you make the color decisions? Are they influenced by the narratives as they're developing, or how does that work for you, Jesse?
There's a general color of the dirt and the light of these places, but I start with the sky, and the sky kind of sets the tone for the color palette, and just the color scheme of the rest of the painting. I try to start off quickly with just a freeform sky, and that's gonna tell me how the rest of the painting is gonna go. I don't know.
So are you must be thinking about formal things like complementary colors, orange and blue, or like, red and pink and green, and I wonder how much you think about like more formal things, like how stuff recede in the background, as it gets forward, it's darker, and maybe what color you start with. Like, is there a color you always start with, or those kinds of things in general?
No, I try to start just kind of haphazardly, but then I work my way down toward, work my way forward in space, and
Doesn't the sky and the color of the sky set the tone for the rest of the
Yeah.
composition?
oh yeah, totally.
So does that mean you'll have a whole sky kind of painted before anything else comes in? Do you paint the foreground on top of an already painted sky, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a full background, like kind of underneath the foreground.
Yeah, I mean, I try to leave room for the drawing, you know, to be able to see it. But yeah, I have it drawn in first, yeah, paint the sky and yeah, try to leave a little space so I can see the drawing. But yeah, that dictates, you know, kind of the color scheme I'm gonna use, like this dark blue, I needed to, you know, emphasize the yellow and the dark browns to contrast the dark blue sky, stuff like that.
I just want to say in terms of the color, especially this piece, and your reference to the 70s, I mean, these really have a strong feeling of all the religious paintings from India from the 70s.
Oh,
That, yeah, especially that one brings those colors to light. And a lot of the old religious paintings are actually from, you know, even the Catholic religion. When you go back to look at some of the old pieces, yeah,
Cool.
they have that kind of vibe. And in terms of the 70s, in the words of Janis Joplin, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. So there you go.
I kind of ascribe to that description more than the freedom isn't free or whatever. Yes, the military's gonna tell you. Anyway.
Yeah, the colors are really metaphysical, you know, they seem to have like metaphysical source. You know, just looking at them and getting into each space and, so, you know, it's obvious you're really connected in with the color and it seems really intuitive almost.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty intuitive, and it's hard. That's why I trouble describing them sometimes. It's like, cause I've been painting so long. I mean, it's almost automatic, you know. So just
Yeah.
starting and just start wailing on the painting, and there it is.
So these paintings, they're a little like kind of stony, like, so it's like, it makes the viewer feel high.
Another kind of freedom. I wanted to ask you about the compositions. In terms of the horizon line, I know you described your process of it, in the sky, and we talked about the openness of the sky, but there's something, I'm not sure, I haven't seen other works in person, but there's this, the horizon line ties these all together as if we're just, you know, sitting in a certain perspective and looking across America in its freest form, I guess. Or is that something that you decide, or something just intuitive that happens, where you pick this spot on the canvas that's a horizon line and your stories play out on that stage?
Yeah, that's a good question. Horizon line, yeah, I'm always conscious of where the horizon's gonna be, especially in these desert paintings.
Like the golden ratio, maybe, I don't know, in an intuitive way.
So it's something that like it comes out when you're making the work. It's not like you know think about it for every single painting.
No, it's it's kind of just dictated by the particular design, I guess. But yeah, some of them have really similar horizon lines. But mainly I'm just keeping in mind that I want some free space in the top and free space in the bottom for just free painting.
And it seems like an interesting strategy for a show, like hang the horizons all at the same level, and then have the paintings go up and down like a window. I know, it seems really cool.
Yeah, but the middle register has the narrative and the top and the bottom has the improvisation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been doing for a while.
I like hearing about your cultural references, sourdoughs and, Nico, but what was like your first love with art? Was it comic books or, illustration or, I don't know.
Yeah, the first like aha art moment in my childhood was my dad would take us to the library and we'd look at picture books and just books. I was looking at a book about boxing and I saw all those George Bellows boxing pictures and I was just blown away as a little kid. And I asked my dad, God, I can never draw that good. And my dad said, of course you can, just practice. That kind of set me on a path a little bit. Yeah. I really love ash can painting.
Any other questions? Okay, Jesse. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and please enjoy the visual subjects.